Thank you so much, Navya. Thank you for joining. Okay, how can you learn this? Um, if you're interested, you can join my WhatsApp group, and there I do these demos. I am just here to share the process, and it is just a half thing. I'm just doing the final touches and detail thing here. Rest, if you're interested, full tutorial is available. You can just contact, and I will share the entire tutorial with you. So I'm blending and layering with different colors. It takes time because when we create depth, it will not come at one go. You need multiple layers. So I'm just working on that, adding details and fine touches. And the colors that I'm using here is the basic camel set for now, but I use multiple sets, like I use Mugio, I use camel, then I have few other brands. But to prepare this piece, I have used, mostly I have used camel. So I'm working on, at least you can say this is 20% is left, the rest I'm done. If you have any questions, if you have ever tried oil pastels, you can tell me. If you have any kind of problems with this medium, we can discuss that. If not, so you can just enjoy how I'm doing. So for darker values, I don't use direct colors. I don't use flat blacks. Black I avoid. Hardly I use black, mostly in the last stages of my painting, and I use only 5% of black, not more than that, because I feel like black is making your paintings flat. So we should always avoid black. You can use just at the end where you are finishing up your paintings. That time you can use, but not before that, because it will not going to bring realism in your work. It will just make it flat. And you can see I'm just using a student grade color here to do this work. So I'm not planning to make it realistic. I'm just working on few shades. It's all about values. It's very important to study values because if you don't know the lightest light, darkest dark, how to put these colors, so then you will always face issue to work with any medium. It's not only about oil pastels, it is about watercolor also, or acrylic, oils, whatever medium you do. If you don't have the proper knowledge of lights and shadows, so in that case, you may struggle. So I'm just trying to blend the shades nicely. And don't paint in one direction, otherwise your work will look unrealistic. Try to keep variations in your work. We should always work on keeping variety, right? Don't just follow same thing in every single area. Otherwise, it looks like there is no variety in your work and it looks unrealistic. So always take care of that. I'm not done with the center part, still there is a lot, and the magic is at the end because you are going to see how scratching technique works and how it can bring a lot of realism in your work. So it's a back and forth process. Let me know if you have worked with this medium oil pastels before and what was your experience. I keep switching my colors so that I can keep a lot of colors in my work. So I'm just adding layers. I am not blending right now. This is just adding layers after layers. So here I'm just trying to create this part more and more hollow. So my focus is mostly here, this area. The rest I'm done with the petals and all. But here I'm going to create a good amount of depth. And so somewhere I'm using these colors for depth like sap green, then purples, and these are just like I'm putting colors on top. I have not started with the blending yet. I'm just twisting my pastel here to create some random textures, and this is how I will get some textures in my work. Same way I can create here. So now I will start with the blending part, and then after that I'm going to create more textures on top. Okay, so for creating to blend my work, I'm going to use my two kind of tools. One is earbud and second one is I'm going to use blending stumps. So blending stumps are good for blending. So I will make sure there is no extra pigment, otherwise it will not help me to bring the correct value. Right, so as you can see I already used this one, so I'm just going to use the same color in the area where I have already used, and I'm putting my hand this way on top of the tissue paper so that I don't accidentally put mess up with my shades. So now I can just go this way and I can just blend it, and don't use the tip part. When we use the tip part, accidentally you can randomly you can peel off some layers. So it's better you use the little bit flat part of it. Okay, so I'm using the flat part and I'm using the small circular motions. So my idea here is to, whatever layers I have put on top, these layers which are visible to you, it is looking like I have put on top. So I'm going to blend these layers and I will make it like a part of this petal. So I'm slowly with my hand, I'm just trying to blend, not putting too much of pressure. So this way slowly I have to blend so that I can get a nice texture and it becomes the part of that petal which I just applied on top. You can see how I am making this as a part, and it is looking like a rough texture of this petal, and I'm going to slowly merge with the other shades. You can see. So most of the pigment we have lifted. So pigment I already have in my blending stump. Same, if I want to apply some other place, I can easily do that. So before jumping to the other petal, I'm just going to remove some of the extra. So first I did layering and now I am blending. Blending can be done in different ways. You can use any tool for blending or you can just use oil pastels for blending. As I want this texture to be on top, so I am not blending with oil pastels, but if I want it to be a smooth blending, I can use oil pastels for that. I'll just show you. Like I have this red color here. If I don't want this much texture in my sheet, what I can do, I can simply go with my oil pastels in a small circular motions and I can slowly smooth those texture. So if I don't want too much of texture, I can go like this with my oil pastel and I can make it smooth, right? But I don't want smoothness all over the place. I will just create some textures on top. Same view. So we need patience for creating this type of work because realism takes time. And it's very important to take healthy breaks in between. When we take healthy breaks, so then only you will able to see new details, right? So don't think that you can finish your artwork in 1 day, 2 day. It takes time. It can take 5 days, it can take 6 days. As much time as you give to your work, it will come out like realistic. And then white also plays a very important role when it comes to oil pastels, and it is like it adds a life to the painting. Same ways, I'm going to blend all the areas. And it is looking too bluish, so I just want to change. Or what I can do, I can use some different color, maybe sap green. If you want to dull down any shade, sap green you can use. Now it is not looking bluish. So I'm going to use the black part. Hi Shivam. So sorry, just seen your message. If you have any questions related to painting, you can ask. That sound is, I think, oil pastels, scrubbing sound. Okay, so I am done with at least these petals. I need to finish this part. So somewhere I'm trying to blend with oil pastels, few layers, and somewhere I'm just trying to blend with my blending stump. Wherever is a bright light, I am adding that. Now I'm going to move to another petal. You can see my blending stump is so dirty right now. I'm blending with a light hand. I'm not putting too much of pressure because I don't want to disturb my base layers. So that's the reason I'm just keeping light hand. And here also I need to put some white, just randomly, so that it can give me a feel. The light is harsh on the tip part. And then here, this one is the last. We'll make it this way and then I will do it. See, when oil pastels are ready, we simply need to wipe it off, otherwise it can affect the layers. So I will also switch to the bottom part, which is the green area. So whenever we apply anything on top, we have to blend it. When we blend it, it becomes the part of that subject. So wherever I applied the new layer, I'm trying to blend it. Here are some pollens, and I'm going to just add some tiny details here so that it looks like it's a part of that area. And with my finger, I will slightly go like this on top so that everything becomes smooth. So when we wipe, we don't wipe with our hand. It's better to have a brush because in that way you will get a clean book. And this way I can create the smoothness. And then comes the scratching part. Now I'm going to use this toothpick and then the base I have applied white, so now I can go this way and I can create the tiny textures wherever I want. So I'm just scratching the surface because I have already saved some of the layers here, and then I'm able to get all these white kind of tones here. So I'm scratching the surface and I'm able to create these kind of textures. this is how it is looking right now, and I think I'm done. So we'll remove. So this is how it is looking, and yeah, we are done with the painting. So you can see